Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Post to Post. My name is Neil. Thanks for joining me today. I got a special one for you. Jason Ronaldo, a designer that we've seen in the community, submit jerseys, logos in the past, everything. He's come up with something a little bit new here, and I think you guys are going to like it. Well, I don't know if you're going to like it. I've not even seen it. I'm just assuming based on the title of the series, and that is NHL MULTIVERSE logos. I have no idea what that means, but I know Jason's work, I know it's good, and I know if he's doing something called multiverse, it's at the very least going to be interesting. So I think you're going to like it. I think I'm going to like it. Let's find out together. Let's react to these. There are 32 NHL teams, but it's multiverse, and since I've not seen these, I don't know what they visually look like, but I've seen the file names, okay? And I can tell you that they don't align with the current NHL teams. So I'm just speculating that he has not only changed the logos for some of these teams, but changed the city and changed the team name. So that's all I know. Let's get into this. Let's see what he's got prepared for us. He says there are 2 logos per team for 32 teams, so 64 logos total. Let's get going with Anaheim. Anaheim is actually first. Well, it's A and A, so I'm assuming it's Anaheim. Let's go. Okay. Multiverse. Okay, so I think I understand this a little bit maybe. Obviously, it's upside down. Well, the background is. The colors have switched a little bit. Obviously, some heavy purple in the background, which looks good. And I mean, that's part of their color palette and their history, but not used this way. The orange is there as well. We've got the infamous guy in the front. What's he called? Mighty Mask? Not Mighty Mask. Mighty Wing. Mighty Mask. Oh my God. So, I mean, that's a pretty... It's multiverse. I understand it, okay? I understand it. It's just a little bit backwards, a little bit mirrored, but it is still generally in line with their brand. Down below, we've got that other logo, which looks like kind of a combination between their current Duckfoot logo in behind and then Mighty Wing on the front, or his helmet there, or his mask, whatever, his head. Good start. Very interesting start, but the next one is ATL. I'm assuming that's Atlanta something, but let's find out. Atlanta Flames. Okay, so maybe the Calgary Flames are not included in this. Atlanta Flames. Okay, I wasn't prepared for the Atlanta Flames today in my mind. The bottom logo, that's actually what caught my eye the first. I really like that. It's very almost like mysterious and dark, almost like New Jersey Devilish kind of vibes here. Dark, deep red with the black. I don't know, you could almost make like an N and a J out of that, I think, if you were to redesign that for the New Jersey Devils. But anyways, Atlanta Flames. The top logo looks like something out of like... not Pokemon, but like, not Digimon. Remember Digimon? What am I trying to think of? Like, who's the dude that they shoot the balls? Dragon Ball Z. That's what I'm trying to think of. I don't know why I'm thinking Dragon Ball Z. It probably doesn't even look like it, but it looks like almost like the Mortal Kombat logo as well. Lots of stuff going on. I don't see Atlanta Flames vibes from that. I prefer their original logo. This is a crazy series so far. Let's move on to the next one. It's going to be the Brooklyn Americans. Okay, so... a little bit of history here in the NHL. I'm okay with this. We're kind of used to the name Americans if we go way, way back. Now, the primary logo here is definitely busy. We've got lots of lines up top. We've got Americans in the red font, and the kerning is really, really close in the letters here. So it's almost like going from one letter to the other. There's no separation, so it makes it a little bit busy in there. And on the bottom, we've got a B with some separated kind of drop shadow action on the outside, and then some stars with the same thing. Visually, very busy, but also very like classic, very like 1920s-esque style there. The bottom logo is quite interesting. I actually really like that. I think that would be pretty cool on the front of a jersey. Kind of looks like Columbus Blue Jackets rebranded symbolized B logo in a way, because you got the stars in there, the colors are right. This isn't my favorite that we've seen so far, but it is definitely interesting. I think the first one's my favorite so far. Let's go into the next one. It's going to be the Boston Bruins. Okay, so that's we're used to that team. I'm wearing the Bruins here today. Now the logo on top, I feel like I've seen that little guy before on something. Maybe that was one of his previous logos from his redesigned history of something else he submitted. The spoked graphic in the background that we're used to. It's okay. It's just, again, a little bit busy. There's lots going on with the spokes and then the slashes and the bear and the angles and stuff and whatnot. Now the bottom logo is a much more tame but aggressive logo, and it involves lighting. And I think when you combine emotion and aggression on the face of a logo or any kind of character, and also combine it with dramatic lighting, it just increases the veracity, increases the character, and the message that you want to put across. And in this case, it's an angry bear looking to throw some mitts and score some goals. So I like the bottom logo. I think that totally fits. That's my favorite of the two. All right, let's move on. We got the Buffalo Sabres. This is familiar at least. Now the primary logo at the top I think is okay, but the stance is a little bit awkward. It's almost like he's getting ready to have those sabers snip his you-know-whats. He's getting fixed, as we say. So the placement's a little bit odd there for me. But the bottom logo with the B, stylized B with the saber going through it, it's decent. I think they've used a similar logo, not obviously angled like that, but I do like the stylization of the B there. And the saber going through is a little bit awkward, but it's definitely my favorite of the two. Let's move on to the next one. Chicago Storm. That threw me for a loop. I was expecting Carolina Hurricanes there for a split second when I saw that. But again, quite a busy logo up top. You can obviously see that it says Storm, but the O in particular isn't just an O with 3 notches to represent like a hurricane or a storm or a cyclone or whatever, but it's also shadowed to make it look like it's beveling out, like it has dimension. So there's another element of busyness happening there, which makes it just slightly hard to read, but you can read it. Now the bottom logo is quite interesting. Man, is that better than the Carolina Hurricanes logo? I know we're not talking Carolina, we're talking Chicago Storm, but I always have to kind of compare similar logos to Carolina's because I don't think the Carolina one's perfect. It's pretty good. It is, again, a little bit busy for my personal taste. Let's move on. The Columbus Blues? Not the Columbus Blue Jackets, the Columbus Blues. All right, this is going to take my mind a couple of seconds to wrap around. What? Okay, so as awkward as this is, I think it kind of works. I don't see anything wrong with this. I like the playfulness of the note. I like the bit of dimension with the Ohio State flag and the graphic that we're used to with Columbus kind of looping in around that note. Down below that other logo, which I'm going to assume is going to be the shoulder patch, I also like that. Very simplistic logo. You got the note in there. You got the staff in the background. Columbus up top. It's in a general kind of shield shape. So I could absolutely see that being on a shoulder. I think this one might be my favorite so far. I really like this one, actually. Next up, we got Dallas North Stars. I almost said Dallas Stars, but then I saw the N and looked down. Dallas North Stars. But Texas is in the south, but they used to be the North Stars, and my brain can't. Is this allowed? Can they be called the Dallas North Stars? I know that they used to be the Minnesota North Stars, but Minnesota's in the north. Dallas is in Texas, and Texas is in the south. I don't think they can be called the North Stars. He's got starts there. I think that's a mistake. Dallas North Starts doesn't make sense, so I think there's a spelling mistake in there. It's supposed to be Dallas North Stars. I'm having a hard time even saying that. It's just because it's weird. Now, he's done a great job with the logo, though. I think busy's been my favorite word so far in this video. I apologize. Take a drink every time I say it, you'll be drunk. But it is quite busy. But I like what he's done. Like, it totally makes sense. It fits in with their current brand. He's done a really good job kind of melding that kind of design profile with his new idea here. The logo down below is actually amazing. I really, really like that a lot. I would love to see that kind of bevel style shoulder logo on the shoulder. I think that would be awesome. All right, moving on. The DC Nationals, essentially the Washington Capitals, but the DC Nationals, see, there's a baseball team called the Washington Nationals, and there's a bit of confliction here. Now, the logo that we see up top is obviously very familiar. We've seen at least aspects of that logo a little bit. I like what's going on down below, though. Like, the one up top is fine, but the one down below is, I think, kind of where it shines, because you got I don't know the name of that building. I gotta look it up. Washington Monument, maybe? Yeah, Washington Monument. Okay, so the Washington Monument, the top of it, is in the lower section of the C, which kind of almost like sits like sitting in a swing of the C. The C loops in with the D. That's a simplistic logo, and that looks good. I could absolutely see that on the shoulder. I really like that, actually. Regardless of DC Nationals, I think the Washington Capitals could use that on the shoulder. Let's move on. We got the Denver Rockies. Okay, so some history here. The D down below that logo is okay. Up top, I don't love what's happening with the R. I know what he's doing. He's making a D out of the top of the R, but including the two bottom little legs of the R. I get it, but it just looks awkward. It looks like the R is wearing a life vest or something. I don't know, it just doesn't work. I'd actually leave the R and the D off of the primary logo up top and just let that kind of triangle shape kind of breathe a little bit and allow those mountains to do some work. Let's move on to the Detroit Cougars. We're going back in Detroit's history when they used to be called the Cougars, but with a very modern logo up top here. It almost looks like flamish, I think, on the back of that Cougar. Now the D down below, we've seen, I guess, a variation like that in Detroit Red Wings history, but I don't think that's better. I think the one up top is okay, but it just feels weird calling a hockey team from Detroit anything other than the Red Wings. So this one feels a little bit foreign to me. Next, the Edmonton Oilers. Wow. I kind of like that top logo, and I kind of like the bottom logo. Both are like just slightly awkward, but I need to find out if a cog has an even amount of things. Okay, I thought that looked a little bit awkward. So from everything that I can find on Google, a cog has an even amount of, I don't even know what you call it, notches, spurs? I have no idea what you call those, but there's something missing. The shape actually kind of reminds me of an upside down pentagram, which is, I believe, like a sign of the devil. So you've got like a star symbol, but it's upside down, so the pointy end is on the bottom, and then there's you make a line between the points, and then there's a circle around. There's a really good new show on Netflix. It's called The Devil in Ohio. Highly recommend watching it. It's a limited series. It's available on Canadian Netflix, that is, so I've just started watching that. That's probably why the symbolism is in my head. But the cog looks wrong. The cog looks wrong to me. It needs to be an even amount of little things. I don't know why I care about that, but my OCD cares, I guess. But I do like the logo. It's very interesting. It's a good combination between some of their history. Now, the bottom logo is pretty cool. It's very modern, but there's a lot of symbolism there. The E, obviously, for Edmonton. Got the oil drop in there. It even splits a little bit because the orange comes in front of the silver, but the blue doesn't. Really cool play there. I like that one. Let's move on. And that's going to be the Hartford Whalers. Okay. A bold decision, but you see how the bottom logo is essentially unchanged? That's Jason recognizing that, okay, the Hartford Whalers are one of the most iconic brands in history, in sports history, and they've got one of the most iconic logos. Let's not touch that, okay? That's going to be the shoulder patch regardless of any new primary logo. So he's made a good decision there. I respect that. But his primary redesign here, as good as it is, and it is actually pretty good. You can see the W in there near the mouth area. The eyes show some aggression, but as good as that is, it'll never be as good as the logo we see down below. So this is not going to be my favorite, but I appreciate the attempt. Next, the Jacksonville Thunder. Okay, so maybe a Tampa Bay Lightning rival, maybe, or I guess this is multiverse. So the Tampa Bay Lightning don't even exist in this universe. Jacksonville Thunder. I love this series. Jason, thank you for submitting this. It makes my brain hurt, but I like it. The logo down below is so good. I really like that. The T for Thunder, kind of right over the state outline of Florida in a circle. Phenomenal logo. The logo on top is okay. It looks a little bit like I'm on guard and when's my shift ending? Like I want to go home and kind of watch Netflix. I don't know. I'd like to see a little bit more aggression, a little bit more ferocity in the face, maybe a little bit more muscles. He looks a little dainty right now, but I do like the lighting. It has dynamic lighting. That's pretty cool. Great colorization as well. The Kansas City Scouts. Okay, we're going back into the NHL. I do not like the bottom logo. I'll say that. Starting. The top logo reminds me of the Denver Broncos a little bit, so I think this one is probably my least favorite so far. But I don't hate the top logo. It just reminds me of something else, and I think I'll pass on that just from that perspective. Next is the Los Angeles Kings, a name we're used to. Wow, I really like the stylization logo along the bottom. Up top, it's a bit of an awkward angle on the text. I like the text chosen. It's very old school and scriptish and stuff, but it has this like smile in it. It's almost like the whole thing is just one big smile, and then there's this awkward empty space between the top of the I, the top of the N, the top of the G, and then Los Angeles. That empty white space just feels a little bit naked there. So I probably wouldn't add that angle, but I do like the specific font chosen. Next, the Las Vegas Aces, a potential other name for the team. Up top, I love the circular action that's going on, the change in like lighting and dimension there. The A looks fine. You got the suits in the background. I don't love how stark, just generic the gold is in the background. Below the ace, it feels a little bit empty. The logo down below, that kind of triangle weird shape. I mean, it's in the shape of an A. It's got the L and a V in there as well. Okay, so I see L and then the V, and then the slash splits it, and then the A. You got a suit in there. That's kind of interesting, but it is, a little bit busy. Maybe it also represents the mountains that are sort of near Vegas. Okay, next we got the Miami Panthers, maybe what they should have been called, the regular old school original style version, or a variation of it, of the logo up top with a bit of Miami Vice staged gradient, staged colorization coming in on the left. That looks okay. I don't love that idea, but the bottom logo is actually phenomenal. I really, really like that, taking a bit of their, brand personality with the palm tree and the sundial and stuff, but adding or changing the sunset and adding in those beautiful Miami colors in there. I think that was a great decision. Let's move on. The Minnesota Wild. Wow. 2 shades of blue, which look great. A darker green, got some red in there, a deeper red. I actually really like the primary logo color. I like that up top. Down below is going to be a miss for me. I see the M up top. I see I see the M up top. I see the W below. There's obviously forest there and stuff. I don't know. It's almost too symmetrical for me. It looks a little awkward. Next, the Montreal Canadiens. Okay, so my favorite team is still in here. Yes, I know I'm wearing Boston. If you're new, I switch up my jersey every single video out of respect for you guys, because I talk about all the teams. I always have to say that because there's lots of new people that always watch, and they're like, why are you wearing Boston if you're a Montreal fan? That's why. Canadiens. I'm going to say no to the primary logo here. I don't like the almost nothingness separation between the top of the H on the left and the bottom of the H on the left. But the bottom logo, that fleur-de-lis recolorized like that, is essentially perfect. I don't know if Montreal would ever use that in any of their branding, whether it's a shoulder patch or anything, because of the Quebec Nordiques, but I think it looks good. So I'd be okay with Montreal Canadiens using that. Great job on that one, Jason. Next is the Nashville Tigers. Okay, so we got the N in the background for Nashville. We've got the tiger there. He looks a little bit sleepy. The mouth is maybe a little bit smiley as well. I like to see some more aggression in there. But very modern for sure. It does look, it looks pretty good. The N and the T down below, I think that looks okay. Not really much to say about there. Let's move on. The New York Rangers, okay. So, yeah, I think it's a little bit two-dimensional. It's almost like the NY and the R and that flame, which is kind of like put on that background. It doesn't really fit. It feels two-dimensional. There's not enough separation there. The buildings in the background also busy it up a little bit. Down below, we've got the N and the Y, which look relatively normal there. Nothing to complain, nothing to praise, just a pretty generic N and a Y. I think that's probably the direction that the New York Rangers would go, thinking about a multiverse. So I think Jason's on point there. Okay, moving on. We got the Ottawa Senators. Okay. I'm kind of digging that primary, that up top one. I do like that. It's very mysterious almost. It's he's coming through the shadows a little bit, getting ready to fight. He's a gladiator, or I guess a senator. Down below, that looks like a token or like a money coin. I don't love that. I don't love that secondary one, but I really like the primary one. Let's move on. The Philadelphia Flyers. We've got what up top what appears to be almost a glider. Looks like a glider a little bit up top. You can see the F there for Flyers. That whole logo looks a little bit awkward. Down below, we've got just a generic biplane. It looks okay. I don't love this. I prefer their current stuff. But in a multiverse, this is probably very plausible. Next, the Pittsburgh Pirates. Wow, Jason, I don't know if you designed that primary logo there, but I really, really like it. The P in there on the top of the hat, that's awesome. You got the little bit of a whatever flower feather thing in there. That looks good. The secondary logo, I also really, really like that. That looks awesome. Pittsburgh Pirates. Okay, I'm on board with this one. This one may be my favorite so far. I have to go back through them. We'll do that at the end of the video. I'll pick my favorite. The Seattle Kraken. Bit of a redesign here. And do I see an S in there? I see an S a little bit. Yeah, I guess I see an S. He looks angry. That's pretty cool. The one down below, you've got the whole tentacle right around the Space Needle there at the top of the anchor. That looks good too. And even the shape looks like a porthole a little bit. Yeah, pretty good. Next up, the San Jose Sharks. Okay, so the secondary logo is obviously very familiar. We've seen that before. But The primary logo, I don't know what's going on with the most, but it looks like the shark is like eating a bowling ball or something. It's just very like round underneath the bottom of the jaw. And it's, I don't know, the mouth seems too big or something, or too rounded along the bottom. That's, yeah, just a little bit awkward, I think. The eyes are okay. The rest of the logo's okay. I think the mouth is just throwing me off a little bit. Next, the St. Louis Eagles, which goes back into some history there. The logo down below is very like university styles. It's okay. The logo up top is, I know that kind of works actually. You get part of the note in there that also makes up the wing. I think that's, that's pretty innovative from Jason, is combining those two things. And combining them well too. It's just awkward because it's reversed, right? Like that note would be the other way on the actual St. Louis Blues logo. So a little bit of awkwardness, but really cool that he combined those two. I wonder if he could mirror the eagle here to make it look a little bit more like the St. Louis Blues logo. Next, we got these Toronto Pats. That looks like a sign. I can't imagine that in the front of a jersey. It looks too much like, welcome to my pub kind of sign. But the one on the bottom, the logo on the bottom is pretty good. I do like that. But the one on the top, Toronto St. Patrick's, St. Pat's, yeah, it looks too much like a street sign for me. Next, the Vancouver Canucks. So we got the green and the blue with the skate logo. That does look good. The bottom logo looks so good. So you got that ice kind of breaking away like we see on their current logo, and that kind of the tail of the orca. You get the V from their history. We've got the colorization. I actually love that logo. That might be one of the best Vancouver Canucks alternate or in general redesigned logos I think I've ever seen. I adore that. That is phenomenal, Jason. Great job on that one. Next, we've got the Wisconsin Wolfpack. Okay, definitely Arizona Coyotes vibes down below, because you got the stage gradient, you got the state outline, you got the howling, I guess wolf in this instance. They're called the Wolfpack, but there's only one wolf in the logo. I don't really love the design of the wolf either. It kind of looks like he's wearing a mask or something, like he's going to one of those parties that you hold the thing and it just covers your eyes. You know what I'm talking about? I don't even know what they're called. Anyways, this one's probably a miss for me. I like the secondary logo, but it just reminds me too much of the Arizona Coyotes. The Winnipeg Jets. Okay, so we've combined, I guess, two logos in a way here on top. The one down below is pretty simplistic. This looks good. Not really much to say here. Just looks good overall. Oh, that was the last one. Okay, so, wow, okay. You're going to need to give me a minute. I need to go through these. Okay, you know what? As awkward as it is, I think I'm going to go with the Columbus Blues, because he's done a great job in combining the two elements at the top. We get to keep the Ohio State flag and the swoosh and everything that we're used to, but to be included in an actual note, but it's still, like, that looks like a proper actual logo in there. Little bit, maybe too much blue up in the middle, in between the legs of the note. Maybe you could put something there, maybe a skyline or something, but maybe that would make it too busy. I don't know. But either way, he did a great job with the primary logo, and the bottom logo is like essentially the perfectly designed shoulder patch. It's all contained in a shape, a simplistic shape. It would be easy to put on, the shoulder. It looks good. It would look good on a dark jersey. It would look good on a white jersey. This is my favorite, the Columbus Blues. An awkward thing to say, but that is my favorite. Now it's your turn to leave your comment down below. Let me know what your favorite was in this crazy multiverse series. We got 32 teams in the NHL, in this multiverse NHL. Some teams we're familiar with, some teams we're not so familiar with. What was your favorite logo in general? What was your favorite combination of the two? Would love to hear your thoughts. I'm sure Jason would as well. I'm sure he's going to read all the comments and use some of your feedback, some of your opinions to maybe influence his future designs as well. So, your opinions, your comments matter, and I can't wait to look at them. Hope you guys have a great day. If you're new and you like this kind of content, looking at jerseys or logos or anything to do with hockey and design and aesthetics and stuff, please consider hitting the subscribe button. We'd love to have you part of the community here. I make a video trying to get back to a daily basis here. The summer was really busy for me, but trying to get back to a video a day, and then we have Jersey Fun on Friday, so we'd love to have you on board. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Adios.